My name's Jeffrey Collins. I'm a reporter with the Associated Press in South Carolina. Today I witnessed the firing squad execution of Mikal Mahdi. He's a 42-year-old man who was being put to death for shooting an off-duty police officer here in South Carolina back in 2004. This is the second firing squad death that South Carolina has done in the past 5 weeks. It's a very rare method. There's only been 3 other firing squad deaths in the last 50 years outside of these 2 in South Carolina. This one was different than the first one I witnessed 5 weeks ago. Mahdi, actually, when he was shot, there was a groan, almost a cry or a yell. It was like, ah, like that, which I've never heard this is my 12th execution, I've never heard an inmate make that kind of noise. About 45 seconds after that, the shots were fired, there was a second set of like a groan or a cry, and then a few seconds after that there was a third very low moan, like a very guttural kind of moan, and then he took a very deep breath, and then I didn't see him breathe anymore. This was maybe about 1 minute and 20 seconds after the shots were fired. At that point, a doctor came in with a stethoscope, did some examinations for about 1 minute and 30 seconds. At that point, the doctor made a motion towards prison officials, who came out and declared Mahdi dead at 6:05 p.m. The way the process happens here in South Carolina is witnesses come into the room. We're behind bulletproof glass and bars. There's a curtain that's blocking our view into the execution chamber. It opened right at 5:59, so about 1 minute before the execution was supposed to take place. At that point, Mahdi was strapped in a chair. He was in a black shirt and pants. Typically, death row inmates wear green, but they put him in black for the firing squad. He was strapped down. His arms were strapped a little bit behind his side. His legs were strapped. There were straps over his shoulders and a strap over his waist. They gave him his lawyer an opportunity to read his final statement. He had no final statement. The warden then put a hood over his head, and the warden then walked 15 feet to where the shooters are. The warden walks over and he lifts a black pool shade, looks like one that's in your house, and there's a rectangular opening that's partitioned 3 ways. That's where the shooters are. You can't see their guns. So from the point where the shade gets opened, it was 30 seconds before you heard a gunshot. I mean, there are 3 people shooting, but it sounded simultaneous. You saw the white target that was over Mahdi's heart with a red bullseye. You saw it get pushed into a wound in his chest. He had those moans. Along with the moans, there were several shallow breaths that he had, during that period of time before that last big final breath. But the entire process from the time the shots were fired to the time the doctor declared him dead was less than 4 minutes.